Hey, you guys, Vinny here. I'm actually making this video from Ho Chi Minh City right now, which used to be called Saigon. So right behind me, or where I'm at, is a cafe. Pretty cool. But I wanted to make a video for you guys, the group, on forecasting desirable profits and the amount of capital you'll need to reach that amount of profits that you're setting out to achieve within your Amazon wholesale business. Okay. But this portion, people typically skip because anyone who usually starts this business, their mindset is usually on finding profitable products. That's great, but if you don't know your true numbers, what good is that, right? So we're in this game to make profits and just profit. So let me just do a quick breakdown. This is nothing rocket science, but just something nice and simple for you guys to get exposed to, okay? So let's talk about expenses. So every month you have expenses, whether that's your VA expense, other software that you're subscribed to. Now, this is just arbitrary expenses I've chosen. You might have more, you might have less, but I just chose random numbers just so the numbers could come out easy. So let's just say for this example, we have a monthly expense of $1,500 to run your business, not including your labor, right? So we need to produce at least $1,500 per month within the business to sustain, okay? And you can watch this video again if I'm talking too fast or you need to, just retake some stuff in. Now, let's take a look at, before we go, so before we go into project projection, what I want to show you is the lead time from when you actually spend a dollar today. It will take roughly 60 to 75 days for that dollar along with your return to come in. Now, I always like to overestimate my my numbers, because if I underestimate and if I go over, I'm kind of screwed, right? If I overestimate and then I undertake or at least make more profit, whatever, then it's a good thing. So I would say it's about 75 days just to play it safe. It's about 2.5 months. Here's a breakdown of sort of the lead time of day to day of what occurs. So let me just quickly go through this. Day one, you put in a purchase order, or that's the day you actually send the money into the supplier, right? That's day one. Assuming it takes the supplier, 9, 10 business days, which is roughly like 2 weeks or whatever. Let's say nine days to receive your supplies, to have it arrive either at your 3PL or, well, in this assumption, I'm saying it's to your warehouse or to your house, right? Because 3PLs, third-party logistics, probably take longer than a day. They might take a week. But in this case, it's only to your house. So 9 days also depends on the supplier. Some suppliers send out their product next day and it'll get to you within like 3-4 days. Some supply takes about 2 weeks, right? So take that for granted. Take that into calculation for your lead time as well. But on average, it's about 9 days, as I noted here. Now, on day 10, you receive your item. It takes you 24 hours or a day to prep all those products and ship it out, okay? It takes 4 days for it to arrive on Amazon. Now, we're going to be nice and give Amazon 5 days to fully check in our product, okay? So from the time we ship it out to the time it's fully checked in, it's another 9 days, okay? Again, we're overestimating. It could be sooner. Day 21, which is 3 weeks into it, from the day you sent your money in, you're starting to sell, okay? Your inventory is checked in and you're starting to sell. Now here, I gave it 14 days, 2 weeks, for you to sell out that inventory you bought from day one, all right? And assuming you chose the right product and it has good velocity, you'd sell within X amount of time. But for me, I only buy inventories worth of 2 weeks. Now, from that 2 weeks, I, again, overestimate and say, all right, it'll take another 2 weeks for my deposit to come in. Of course, this is dynamic. It will change. You might get your deposit a few days later, depending on what your disbursement is. But again, I like to be conservative and overestimate. So roughly, it will take about 69 days. And I'm overestimating again to 75 days to make it an even 2.5 months, just to make the forecasting calculation a bit easier. Now, this last tab will show you, this is probably the most important part, because it will kind of easily simply break down the minimum capital you'll need to make X amount of profit, okay? So let's look at the top tab here. We have expenses, which is $1,500 per month. And we want to look at our business in terms of ROI, right? Rate of return or rate of investment, whatever. And on average, I see that there's about the minimum is about 15%. You might go lower depending if it's a liquidated product or just high competition. But usually it's depending on your category as well, 15% to about 70% is what you'll see. But again, to be conservative, absolute minimum is 15%. You want to shoot for 18% plus, simply because that's where kind of like the sweet spot is. But again, I'm going to be conservative and say it's 15%. Now, ROI formula is simply profit over cost, and it's expressed in percentages. So let's do a quick calculation right here. So we have profit, which is 1,500. We don't know the amount of capital we need or the cost of product, right? Because the cost of product is our capital, or cost of product is sort of our expenses as well, in relation to how much profit we can make. We know our ROI, which is 15%, or expressed in decimal point, 0.15. And so, just rearrange this formula around, and you have your profit over your ROI, which gives you $10,000 per month that you would need in capital for product purchases. Okay, so it's a simple way to look at it. I run my business very simple, because I don't want to keep anything more complex than it should be. So if I know, so through my process of filtering out products and finding out ones that are, that are selling at good velocity, I know that if I spend $10,000 on a particular month, that I'll generate minimum $1,500. It might be more. Again, it might be more depending on market fluctuation. Now, before we were talking about how it takes, the lead time would take about 75 days to get your dollar back from the day you spent that. So I'll just say 10 grand that I'll need per month times 2.5 months. So I'll need at least $25,000 to sustain the expense of $1,500 per month. If that makes sense. It does make sense, but I hope it does make sense to you now. So to play it extremely safe where you can sleep well at night, just make sure you have, assuming your expenses at $1,500, that you have at least $25,000 in reserve cash or capital to offset that expense, okay? Now we're gonna take the same exact calculation here and calculate our desired profit, all right? So for this example, let's just say we want to make $6,000 per month in profit, pure profit, right? After paying all our VAs, employees, and softwares, and all these hunky junk, right? So we want to make 6 grand per month. So we're shooting for a minimum ROI of 15%, okay? ROI 15% here, therefore our profit over our ROI, which is 15%. So we need $40,000 per month in purchases, okay? That means you got to spend $40,000 per month buying products. Okay, so the cost of products that you're spending out is $40,000, and multiply that by 2.5 months. Again, that is the overestimated lead time on when you receive your money back, along with the return. So you'll need roughly $100,000 in cash reserve to make roughly $6,000. Now that sounds a little bit extreme, but it's not, because it's over a period of 2.5 months. And within that 2.5 months, you'll have deposits from Amazon coming in, which will offset this as well. You might need less, but again, I'm overestimating to be on the very safe side. So now you see that you need 25K for your expenses, 100K for your profit. So now theoretically, if you were to start this business from scratch, having the desire to make 6 grand a month, you'll need roughly 125K. Okay, so 125K to make 7.5K per month, which includes the cost of expense, right? Within this business. Again, this is absolute bare minimum. I know people are making about 50 to 70% ROI on the things they sell. So again, to be ultra conservative, this is what I'm looking at. Okay, so you can even start with a couple grand and find products with high ROI and scale your business a lot faster. Okay, but I just want to show you, give you an insight on what you should be looking at as far as your numbers. Now, as far as keeping track of accounting and all that stuff, that's a totally different beast in its own. Okay, so I'm not going to cover that. But from what you've seen here so far, it's hope it brings some light to awareness, because when I first started this business, I was running on unknown numbers and I was like losing profits. Had no idea why. But after I sort of did this quick ROI breakdown of desirable profits, it changed. Now I saw positivity in my bank account. So hope this video brings some value to or some insight to your business. And if you learn anything in this video, just comment below, and I'll be in the group to check and chat with you guys soon. All right.